kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Welcome everybody to Sim Racing Media, home tonight of the Western States Racing League, round number 15 from Darlington. I am Mike Demoney up in the booth. They're just getting underway in qualifying, but we'll go through the last week's results real quick. Bentley Glazer won last week, leading 98 of the 120 laps. Jeff Hollingsworth finished in P2, leading 16, and Jeff Schmeier rounded out the top three. Kyle McCartney and Ryan Steele finished 4th and 5th, as it looks like Wayne Hutchinson just got a little bit loose there in his initial qualifying lap. Back down here, and we'll see if anybody's about ready to finish their laps. Look like the first one might be Earl Weaver here. Earl Weaver making his way through turn number 4, heading towards the start-finish line. He will throw up a 29.96. David Weaver just finished his first lap as well with a 30.06. Like Fred Williams is just finishing up his first lap, and he'll go a 30.02. Wayne Hutchinson has got that truck righted and is going to try and finish his lap here. See what he goes with here. 29.55, so he'll jump up to the top. Close to finishing his second lap. And he did go a little bit faster, 29.54. Of the ones that went, he is definitely on top of the board at the moment. Christian Bishop is finishing up his second lap. His first lap was a 29.74. Christian Bishop with a 29.53. Julian Ricci finished up his first lap with a 29.67. Already have Corey McCartney in the chat cheering on the 18, which of course is Kyle McCartney. Dustin Burns threw down a 30.42. Brian Barnes is working his way towards the start-finish line to begin his qualifying run. Bob Beltrami finished his first with a 29.55. Brian Barnes coming into his first lap. Coming out of 4. He will with 29.70. Ooh, Bob Beltrami just jumped up to the pole with a 29.53. They'll go down to thousandths of a second and give him the pole for the moment. Brian Barnes wrapping up his second lap. Like Jeff Hollinsworth is just starting his first one. So the layout here is a little bit different than most tracks. Throw up this race info real quick here. Kind of take a look. The turns are definitely different between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 3 and 4 are a little bit tighter. That is definitely something you're going to want to watch out for. Jeff Hollinsworth just threw down a 29.49. Paul Crumry, a 29.50. It looks like Jeff's going to say one lap's enough and call it good. Like we got a little different paints going on tonight. Charles Woods. Bentley Glazer finishing his first lap. And he is on the pole now with a 29.34 in that Gatorade number 87 Chevy. He's going to be able to do any better this time by. $29.25. Kyle McCartney finished his first lap with a 29.48. Dustin Barnes is wrapping up his. Looks like Ryan Steele and Barry Feel are out on the track. Ryan Steele goes at 29.60 his first lap. Let's see if he does any better this time by. And he does. He jumps up to P2 with a 29.47. Jeff Schmeier out on track. Like he's got a Halloween paint scheme going on here. First lap was a 31:45. We'll see if he does better this time. And he does. He jumps up the P2 outside row 1 in a 29:39. With just a few left to go. Like we've got Barry Phil, Dennis Fusion, James Campbell, Paul Hoffman, Eric Woods, and Keith Kellman. See if any of those guys decide they're going to take a run at it. While we have a moment, let's go ahead and the current point standings: Bentley Glazer, Jeff Schmeier, Ryan Steele, Brian Barnes, Bob Beltrami, Jeff Hollinsworth, Kyle McCartney, Rob Gall, and Charles Woods. Wayne Hutchinson round out the top 10. 557 to 401. So not too much separates them. What's going on there? All right. That's a grid. Like I said, we got Bentley Glazer and Jeff Schmeier, row 1. Ryan Steele, Kyle McCartney, row 2. Jeff Hollinsworth, Paul Krumrei in row 3. Row 4, Bob Beltrami and Christian Bishop. Row 5, Wayne Hutchinson and Julian Ricci. Row 6 is Charles Woods and Brian Barnes. And we go to Troy Campbell, Earl Weaver, David Weaver, Fred Williams, Dustin Barnes, Alan Bergen, Dennis Fusion, Keith Kellman, Eric Woods, Paul Hoffman, and Barry Phil. That is the grid. And we will go racing shortly. Lights are out on the pace truck. Bentley Glazer on the inside, Jeff Schmeier on the outside. Coming through 3 and 4. We're in for 147 laps, 3 sets of tires in the pits. We got quite a while for this race. Pace truck jumps in. Bentley Glazer has the button. Hits that Geico restart zone. And he is away. Side by side they go. Glazer and Schmeier. Schmeier almost got into that outside wall. Ryan Steele back in third. Jeff Schmeier down to the inside. Going to try to test the inside of Bentley Glazer right here on the backstretch. And we're under caution. Looks like Troy Campbell. So let's take a look here. Oh. Brian Barnes. They just barely got into him, and that was the end of that. So we're under caution on lap 2 here at Darlington Speedway. Get lined up. Nobody's gonna come into the pits after just one lap, except for the damaged cars. So banking on the corners, 1 and 2 is 25, and 3 and 4 is 23 degrees. And then it kind of flattens out on the front and back stretch. So we'll see some transitions that are probably going to be a little rough. We'll see how important tires are and who can keep the truck underneath them as they make their way around this track here. Looks like Dustin Barnes also pitted. So Dustin Barnes, Brian Barnes, and Troy Campbell all were in the pits to get fixed up there. Pace lights should be going out on the pace car this time by. I'll stack up and we'll get going again. Not too much changed in the field. The biggest changes were towards the back of the field. Of all the cars just jumping the damaged cars and the cars that pitted. But other than that, it's pretty much going to be the exact same on this restart that we were at the beginning of the race. They'll be taking the green this next time by. Bentley Glazer on the inside, Jeff Schmeier outside. Brian Steele and Kyle McCartney. Ooh. We're going to do single file. So Glazer, Schmeier, Steele, McCartney, Hollinsworth, Beltrami, Drumrai. You got Bishop, Hutchinson, and Ricci. Round out the top 10. Be making their way through 3 and 4 and headed towards the start finish line. Pace truck dives down to the inside. Glazer has the button. Those are all stacked up nicely for the single file restart. Glazer's down and away. Everybody pretty much stays in single file line. Like Christian Bishop jumps down to the inside, gonna try and pass from right here. Kyle McCartney down to the inside of Ryan Steele. Doesn't quite have enough to get by. Same with Bishop back there. Dives in behind Permaray. Julian Ricci, Charles Woods, Earl Weaver, David Weaver, Alan Bergen. Got a little loose there coming off the corner. Able to gather it in. Keith Kelman makes the pass on Dennis Fusion. Fusion up high, almost into the wall. The three of Paul Hoffman makes the pass there as well. You go back to Eric Woods, Barry Phil, Dustin Burns, and Ryan Barnes. Those two always have to be racing next to each other. Seems like every week. Looks like Schmeier got a little bit loose there. Able to save it, and we're staying green. Fastest lap of the race has been... Ooh. Looks like we got crash towards the back here. Let's see what happened here. Oh. Back that up a little bit. Well, a bigger look. Oh, there we go. Well, maybe not. There he goes. Down to the inside. Bounces back across the track. Collects 45, 41, 4. Everybody just got collected there. It was a double zero, but I don't have that on the scoring. Oh, that's who it is. Okay. Alan Bergen just gets loose, hits that outside wall, gets the inside wall, and then comes back across the field and collects like 4 trucks there. There's nothing you can do there if you were one of those trucks. So 12 laps are going to be complete this time by. And if you're watching in if you're watching on the YouTube channel, definitely hit that subscribe, turn on bell notifications. Won't want to miss anything that we are doing here at Sim Racing Media. Probably going to see some content coming up on our Facebook page if you haven't been checking that out. bunch of us went down to Homestead over the last weekend, and had some fun down there. And we threw up some stuff on our Facebook page, so go check it out. So as we work through the second caution of the race here, not much has changed. The biggest mover of the race is Keith Kellman back here. He's up 6 positions. Paul Hoffman up there as well. Barry Phil. All those guys taking advantage of a couple crashes that we had there early. But up front, nothing has really changed as they get them stacked up, ready to go. Side by side this time. Coming down the backstretch, be Bentley Glazer, Jeff Schmeier, Ryan Steele, Kyle McCartney, Jeff Hollinsworth, Bob Beltrami, Christian Bishop, and Paul Krumrei, Wayne Hutchinson, and Julian Ricci. Bentley Glazer will have the button, as he has the past 2 restarts. Pace truck dives down to the inside. Head into that Geico restart zone. Glazer's down and away. Has a huge jump on Jeff Schmeier this time. Able to go wherever he wants and make that line work. Goes right up almost next to the wall. Kyle McCartney back there trying to work that high side as well. Jeff Hollinsworth. Bob Beltrami down to his inside. Almost gets the nose to that left rear quarter panel. But everybody files out again. And we're back to single file. We're back through single file through most of the field here. Like everybody's kind of settled down and are where they want to be. If we can take a look when they come off of turn 2, how close they get on this exit as they make their way through the corner. They get almost right next to that wall. And if they get a little loose, that's exactly where they wind up going, right into that outside wall. They touch it with that right rear, they're going to go right into the inside and then probably shoot right back across the track like we saw earlier. The Glazer, Schmeier, Still, McCartney. They are your top 4. Christian Bishop was able to get by Bob Beltrami. You got Ricci, Hutchinson, and Krumrei battling it out here for 8th, 9th, and 10th. There, we're almost 3 wide, but Julian Ricci is able to pull ahead and they settle her down. As Hutchinson goes to the inside, and they are side by side. And Hutchinson just clears the 15 of Paul Krumrei. That's one of the closest battles on track at the moment. Settle down back through the field here. We got Weaver, Hoffman, Fusion, Bill, and Kellman. Dustin Burns was involved in one of the earlier accidents and is making his way around the track. Hutchinson made pretty correct work there of Ricci, as Ricci's fading back through the field. Maybe tapped the wall there, but oh, yep, looks like a couple of them got a couple Darlington stripes there. As they fan out here, Ricci goes clear down to the bottom to try and gather that truck back up, as Charles Woods was looking to pass there. So Hutchinson put them in their rearview mirror and is now driving away. Charles Woods to the inside of Ricci. Ricci's battling back on the high side. Side by side they go through 3 and 4. Come down the front stretch. Like the 04 of Dustin Burns is going to stay out of the way there. Ricci's still riding up almost to that wall. Charles Woods is not giving him a second chance here. As they settle back down, we'll jump back up front. Take a look at Bentley Glazer and Jeff Schmeier. Beth Mills in the chat cheering for Schmeier. Ryan Steele is still sitting up there in 3rd position. Like he's closing in ever so slightly on Schmeier. Kyle McCartney's fading back just a little bit as Bishop and Hollinsworth are battling for 5th and 6th. Bishop was able to make that pass after Hollinsworth got a little loose and decided to just let him have it and jump in line behind him. Charles Woods and Earl Weaver just passed Julian Ricci. Charles Woods now has his sights set on his teammate, Paul Kermerai. Barry Phil making his way around Dennis Fusion. Paul Hoffman trying to make quick work here of Ricci as well. Here they go through the front stretch. See a little bit of wiggle there. They got a little loose. Glazer, Schmeier, Steele, the top 3, all within a couple tenths of a second. Kyle McCartney about a second back from this group. Christian Bishop up 3 positions, running inside the top 5. Jeff Hollinsworth battling back to get almost to that rear bumper of the 26 Chevy of Christian Bishop. Bob Beltrami running his own race there. Everybody else is close. Like everybody pretty much got spread out again after Weaver and Hoffman were able to make it by Ricci. It looks like Earl Weaver made the pass on the inside of Kermerai. See them get a little bit loose towards the back there. Like Schmeier's losing a little bit of ground to Glazer. Back to Ryan Steele. Kyle McCartney. Like Like Bishop and Hollinsworth are battling out here. Hollinsworth goes down to the inside. Is going to make the pass on Bishop. Basically did the exact same thing Bishop did to him earlier. And Bishop let off and let him go by. Up front, it's still Bentley Glazer. Jeff Schmeier within 3/10, but Ryan Steele is all over that back bumper of Schmeier. Got any more close battles on the track? Like maybe Paul Hoffman. Nope, not quite. He's still got a few tenths of a second. Like Dennis Fusion's got his truck going back in the right direction, trying to chase down the 42 of Barry Phil. As you see Julian Ricci get a little bit loose behind them. Darlington is one of those tracks where you get a little loose. You need to gather it in pretty quick or you could have a rough ride. Glazer still has about a half-second lead over Schmeier and Steele. Steele faded back a little bit there, but as you saw, Schmeier get a little bit loose coming off of 4. Like David Weaver's making his way past Paul Krumrei. As is Paul Hoffman there. Like Krumrei is fading in the wrong direction at the moment. We'll see if any of these truck drivers are gonna make their way out of here without getting that Darlington stripe, as everybody gets so close to that wall coming off of 4 and off of 2. Wall almost like reaches out and grabs them sometimes. Back through the field here, we got Bentley Glazer, Jeff Schmeier. Go back to Ryan Steele, Kyle McCartney, Jeff Hollinsworth. Bob Beltrami is able to make the pass on Christian Bishop up into the top 6 at the moment. Christian Bishop, Wayne Hutchinson, Charles Weaver, Earl Weaver, Paul Hoffman, Paul Krumrei, back to Dennis Fusion, Barry Phil, Julian Ricci, Keith Kellman. And we got Eric Woods, and it looks like Dustin Burns, Brian Barnes, Roy Campbell, Alan Bergen, Fred Williams, and James Campbell have all elected to call it a day for the moment. Bentley Glazer is now out to 1.5 second lead over Ryan Steele, as Jeff Schmeier elected to let him go by instead of having him ride his bumper the whole way around the track. So as Bentley Glazer leads them through lap 38 here, we're going to go ahead and step aside. We'll go side by side here on the Sim Racing Media YouTube page. We'll be right back shortly. Welcome back here to Sim Racing Media. Back up front here to Bentley Glazer. Bentley Glazer's starting to make his way towards this lap traffic. Ryan Steele almost 2 seconds back. Jeff Schmeier second back of that. Hollinsworth a couple back as well. So Kyle McCartney's starting to move towards the front. Bob Beltrami sitting in 6th. But our biggest mover so far is sitting just outside the top 10 in the number 3 Toyota, Paul Hoffman. He basically started at the back and is now in 11th. So he's putting together a heck of a run here. Bentley Glazer is just putting on a clinic. Now he's working through lap traffic almost like it's nothing as he passed Kelman and Woods there. And Julian Ricci is just in front of him. Back and take a look, see if Ryan Steele's going to have the same luck that Glazer did as he gets by the 85 of Eric Woods. Able to get one there as Glazers makes his way past Ricci. Why don't we go ahead and see if we can jump on board with Bentley Glazer as he makes his way around the track. Go ahead and take a look at his dashboard there as well. You can see how he kind of floats down, gets almost up against that wall as he comes down the straightaway. Lifts a little bit. Kind of burps the throttle. Drops down just ever so slightly, gets back up towards the wall and back on the throttle. Works through the lap traffic as he almost hits the wall there. Drops down to the inside and makes a pass on the 04 of Dustin Burns there. And that's the way he does it, just in and out, making his way through traffic. Jeff Schmeier should be coming up on it and made a couple passes there. I think he's got Julian Ricci right in front of him now. As he comes off the wall and Schmeier has to go down a little bit more to avoid him. Jeff Hollinsworth is catching that lap traffic there as well. Wayne Hutchinson is headed to pit lane. First one to blink. Berryfield just got passed by Bentley Glazer. Glazer now has Fusion and Weaver in front of him. Down to the inside goes Glazer. And Glazer can make the pass on Fusion there as Weaver hits the wall. Able to save it and stay up high. See almost everybody swing wide to avoid hitting the wall and hitting other trucks there. Jeff Hollinsworth making his way through the lap traffic. Glazer has put most of the lap traffic to rest for the most part. Ryan Steele just has to get around Fusioneer, and he will be right behind Glazer again. Looks like Schmeier's having a little bit of a rough time trying to get by Weaver and Barry Phil there. Down to the inside goes Schmeier. Schmeier making his way through the corner, slides up in front of Barry Phil there. Well, almost looks like they get a little loose coming off of 4 there. Gathered it in. Paul Hoffman's in the pits. Bentley Glazer driving down the backstretch. He's completing lap 53 this time by. Ryan Steele still right behind him. Jeff Schmeier was able to work through most lap traffic. Now he just has to get Fusion, and he'll be out in the clear as well. Jeff Hollinsworth just ducks down to the inside to avoid hitting the wall or hitting Weaver. As looked like Weaver got a little bit loose. Able to gather it in and make his way still down the backstretch there. We've had like 2 trucks pit that really didn't have any issue about it. As Hollinsworth makes his way around the 42 of Barry Phil. Now Bentley Glazer is slowly starting to catch Crumry. Kyle McCartney hits the pits. David Weaver in the pits as well. We'll see here. Jillian Ricci down towards the bottom there. Looks like he was heading to pit road. Christian Bishop making the pass there. Glazer was able to make the pass on Crumry. Ooh, Bentley Glazer into that outside wall, got himself one of those Darlington stripes. I think he's coming on the back of, yeah, that is the 18 of Kyle McCartney. Kyle McCartney is a lap down. He also made his pit stop on lap 55. Ricci's making his way out of the pits. Side by side they go. Ricci's got those 4 fresh tires, so he's going to be a little bit faster there. Able to make his way past. Jeff Schmeier heading to pit lane this time by. Looks like Christian Bishop was probably going to hit pit road. And it looks like Bentley Glazer is as well. Looks like he almost got a little bit out of sorts there. Ryan Steele inherits the lead. Bob Beltrami in as well. There's only Ryan Steele's the only one out on the lead lap that hasn't pitted. Everybody else has pitted or is not on the lead lap. So we'll see how far he's going to stretch this. Like it could be pretty close to a one-stop race from what it's looking like he's doing. But he would have to make it about halfway. So we will see what he elects to do here. Everybody's pretty well scattered here at the moment. As Ryan still hits pit lane at lap 63. I'll have to watch, see if Bentley Glazer is going to be able to get around and take the lead from him. As of right now, he is still behind. As Ryan's still making his way to his pit box. Bentley Glazer coming to the start-finish line. And he will indeed take the lead. Jeff Schmeier will be in second. Ryan's still out of his pit box now, but is still losing ground. As Jeff Hollingsworth makes the pass on him as well. Kyle McCartney going to make the pass. Steve Ryan still back in 5th position. But Bentley Glazer is still out to a 2-second lead. And once again, if you are in that YouTube chat, definitely hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications. You can see us go live multiple times a week, multiple times a day. Check out a show tomorrow. Be a dirt show on. You want to watch something a little bit different than these NASCAR ovals? And if you are on our YouTube channel, go ahead in the chat and tell me who you like, who you think's going to win, or what you think's going to happen. Maybe what you thought about the race, the NASCAR race last weekend at Homestead. Talk about anything. But up front, Bentley Glazer is working his way through this lap traffic again. Jeff Schmeier, not quite as far back as he was before the pit stops, but he still has a couple lap cars between him and Bentley Glazer. Schmeier down to the inside, going to pass Barry Phil pretty quick here. Then he'll have his sights set on Eric Woods. And then Glazer is catching, looks like the 3 of Paul Hoffman. Paul Hoffman has not went a lap down yet, but he is going to shortly. So Bentley Glazer makes the pass on him. That leaves 7 trucks on the lead lap. Christian Bishop is the next one that is on the lead lap. He is 21 seconds behind Bentley Glazer. So everybody's pretty well spread out. Couple seconds between everybody. And as we are getting to halfway, we're going to go ahead and step aside, take another break real quick, and I will be back with you shortly.
Time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, the rocket! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the West Coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Welcome back to Sim Racing Media, home tonight of the Western States Racing League. Round number 15 at Darlington. Bentley Glazer is leading this race. He's also leading the points. Looks to improve on that as well today. We are through 75 laps of 147. 7 cars at the moment on the lead lap. As Bentley Glazer goes to the inside and makes a pass on Wayne Hutchinson. Like David Weaver. Gonna get passed there on the inside by Ryan Steele. Ryan Steele trying to make his way through this traffic. But just keeps getting stopped. He was finally able to put Charles Woods and David Weaver behind him. Looks like still green here. Looks like David Weaver and Paul Kermerai are battling it out there for a little bit for 9th and 10th. Earl Weaver's back in 11th, so he's got about 11 seconds before he can make his way towards the top 10. But right now, Bentley Glazer is putting on a clinic. He's out to almost a 5-second lead over Jeff Schmeier. Hollinsworth about 2 seconds back, and then Ryan Steele, after getting held up by some of that lap traffic, is able to get in the clean air and make his way towards Hollinsworth there. But from Ryan Steele to Bob Beltrami, which is the 5th place truck, they almost got 6-second gap. Looks like Julian Ricci, Dennis Fusion are all battling it out here for position on track. Fusion's going to go ahead and pass Ricci and take the 13th spot from him. And looks like Bentley Glazer's coming up on all 3 of them pretty quickly. So they're going to be put multiple laps down here as soon as Glazer's able to get to them and make that pass. Even still, though, the 3 of Paul Hoffman, who's leading these 3 lap cars, is still up 9 positions at the moment, as Bentley Glazer's right to their back bumper. They kind of spread out a little bit. Glazer's going to have to go clear down to the inside or try and split them, and I don't know that he wants to do that when they come into this corner here. Like he just slows up a little bit. As the 3 gets loose into the wall, collects Ricci, but they keep going, and lucky for Bentley, he was not caught up in that, because that could have been bad for him. Julian Ricci is headed to the pits after getting elected there. Bentley Glazer is out to a 4-second lead. Looks like that lap traffic did slow him down some, and Jeff Schmeier was able to close the gap a little bit, but now that he's back out into clean traffic here, clean track, he is putting time on Jeff Schmeier 1/10 of a second at a time. Looks like Jeff Schmeier just lost 2nd place to Ryan Steele. And looks like Hollinsworth might be looking for more as well. Jeff Schmeier almost into that wall. As Hollinsworth goes down to the inside and is going to make that pass on Schmeier. But Schmeier back to 4th position. Still has a comfortable push him back to Bob Beltrami. Schmeier tucks in right behind Hollinsworth. And he is able to drive almost right back next to him. As these 3 here are battling it out for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Bentley Glazer is up here all by himself, trying to get to the 11 of Dennis Fusion to make the pass on him. Then he'll have Weaver and getting closer to Christian Bishop, who is up almost next to that wall. Heard a little radio communication about several of these trucks just wanting to slide right into that wall when they get towards the exit of the corners. Take a look here, see if we can. Yeah, look at that Darlington stripe that's been earned there. You can probably see it on almost everybody's truck as they make their way around here. Oh, looks like that's good. See about Kyle McCartney. See if he was able to catch a little bit of that wall as well. Yep, looks like almost everybody has one of those fancy new Darlington stripes. Even Glazer has it for a little bit. As Bentley Glazer is making his way through this field here. He's got a 3.5 second lead now over Ryan Steele. Ryan Steele was closing the gap pretty quickly. But once Ryan Steele made his way around that lap traffic, he was able to close in. Jeff Hollinsworth past Jeff Schmeier, now has a 2.5 second lead over Schmeier. Schmeier has a 5 second lead over Beltrami. Beltrami has a 8 second lead over Kyle McCartney. So the top 5 are relatively safe for the moment. We're completing lap 91 now as Bentley Glazer makes his way through 3 and 4 here. As nobody tried to push it to the halfway mark, I'm assuming we're going to see another pit stop. Just a matter of who's going to try and pit short and who's going to try and stretch it a little bit longer. Jeff Schmeier making his way around Weaver there. Weaver into the wall. Schmeier and Weaver get together. Not Schmeier. Hollinsworth and Weaver get together. Looks like Schmeier is going to come down to the pits this time. Like he's got a hefty Darlington stripe there on that orange machine. Jeff Hollinsworth making his way around. Like Barry Phil there. Bentley Glazer has now caught Christian Bishop. He's going to be able to make the pass on Bishop here. He looks like he's got Kelman in front of him as well. And he'll be back out into clean air again. Glazer's right to that back bumper. He's going to be able to get a little bit of a toe and then just make that pass as they come down the backstretch here. Tucks in right behind Bishop and is trying to get a little bit of a toe so he can just make that pass as quick as possible. But Bishop's running close to the same lap times as they come down the front stretch. Glazer goes down to the inside, is going to make that pass now. Slides up just a little bit, but they stay off each other. And Glazer is able to clear him coming off of 2 and is now looking to the inside of the 07 of Kelman. Going to make that pass. Bishop makes the pass as well. Then there were 5. Well, Jeff Schmeier made the early pit stop move. Bentley Glazer's last lap time was a 32.22. Jeff Schmeier was a 30.19. So Schmeier definitely got a couple seconds back. We'll see if he's able to run down Glazer, Steele, and Hollinsworth. As Hutchinson makes the pass on Barry Phil there. Jeff Schmeier was almost in that wall. Goes to the outside. Going to pass Weaver there. Beltrami just in front of him. And Glazer's out to a 3.5 second lead. Here comes Schmeier down on the inside, going to try and pass Charles Woods there. Bob Beltrami down to the inside, going to pass Barry Phil as well. Schmeier makes his way around Charles Woods. So Schmeier, last pit on lap 93, was the only one to do so. Now he is driving back towards the front. 12.5 seconds off of Christian Bishop in 6th position. Jeff Hollinsworth jumps to pit lane now. So we got about 46 laps to go. Working our way through round number 15 of the Western States Racing League. Season number 47. See here. Got Kyle McCartney has won 3 races and is sitting 7th in the points. Bentley Glazer has won 2 and is leading the points because he's got 13 bonus points. So Bob Beltrami is in the pits, so we'll see what happens with Ryan Steele and Bentley Glazer. Jeff Schmeier just ran a 29.54, and then the next lap was a 29.75. So he is definitely trying to make his way back to the front. Elected to pit a little earlier than Glazer and Steele, but it seems to be helping him. He is 39 seconds back, but I would almost guarantee that Glazer and Steele have got to pit one more time. Christian Bishop in the pits, Paul Crumry in the pits, David Weaver in the pits as well. Glazer's out to 4.5 second lead now over Ryan Steele. Jeff Schmeier is closing that gap pretty quickly. When he came out of the pits, it was over 40 seconds. Now it's down to 37. As Bentley Glazer is making his way around the track here, he will have to pit one of these times. I don't believe he has enough to make it, and he doesn't. He head into the pits this time by. Ryan Steele stuck on that outside. Is not going to be able to get down to the pit lane even if he wanted to, as Jeff Schmeier makes the pass and is on the lead lap now. He is still 30 seconds back of Ryan Steele, but he is on the lead lap. See if, yep, Jeff Schmeier was able to get around Bentley Glazer. Glazer is now out of the pits. 2 tires and fuel for him. So we'll see if having 12-lap fresher tires is the right call, as Jeff Hollinsworth also is able to get around Bentley Glazer. He's not losing too much ground there. Christian Bishop down to the inside, going to make the pass on Glazer. Not for position. Ryan Steele is still on track. Last pit on lap 63. Has a 26-second lead over Jeff Schmeier at the moment. And he is still not coming to the pits. If maybe we can get a look here. On board with Ryan Steele. Not pitting this time by either. He is just making it work here. So Ryan Steele and Jeff Schmeier are on the lead lap. But there's Ryan Steele and here's Jeff Schmeier. Almost on completely opposite ends of the racetrack. Ryan Steele basically doing the same thing he did last time. He ran 63 laps on that first run. And it looks like he's going to try and make it about the same now, as Jeff Hollinsworth is back on the lead lap. Bentley Glazer as well. Christian Bishop gets a little loose almost into Ryan Steele, but it's able to stay off of him and save it, and they stay green. So there are 4 trucks on the lead lap. Ryan Steele, Jeff Schmeier, Bentley Glazer, and Jeff Hollinsworth, as Glazer goes down to the inside and makes a pass on Hollinsworth. Christian Bishop follows suit. Jeff Schmeier is closing in with every lap on Ryan Steele. But like I said, I would imagine Ryan Steele's going to have to pit because he only made it to lap 63, and that was not quite halfway. Unless he's going to try and push it as far as he can and hope he can make it. We will see what happens here. As Steele's almost into that outside wall. As the 16 of David Weaver was going around there. Jeff Schmeier just getting to the start-finish line. Ryan Steele just coming out of 2. start finish line. The gap between Steele and Schmeier is down to 19 seconds. Hutchinson on the inside of Steele. Will make that pass. Truck of Ryan Steele is still leading the race, but his gap is diminishing with every passing second. Ryan still has pitted on lap 63. Everybody else is pitted on lap 93 or later. So, unless Ryan still knows something I don't, he's going to have to pit within the next 10 laps or so. Earl Weaver and Jeff Hollinsworth battling a little bit, not for position or anything, just there. Bentley Glazer inside. Like the three of Paul Hoffman just slid off the corner, almost took out Glazer there. Ooh, Ricci getting loose. Smoking. Probably have to take that truck to the pits. Ryan Steele is in the pits. Jeff Schmeier making his way around the track and is going to pass Ryan Steele. Well, now we have a race up front between Schmeier and Glazer. Half-second difference between the two, and Bentley is on the move. Like he's a little bit faster. Got 12-lap fresher tires. So we'll see if that matters, as it looks like it will, as Bentley Glazer's down to the inside is going to pass Schmeier with relative ease. And we are down to under 30 laps to go. Yep, Julian Ricci did take that truck to the pits. Looks like everybody is pretty well spread out again. Glazer and Schmeier are battling for first and second. I'm sure Schmeier is wondering what he has to do to put Bentley away, because every time Schmeier has a good race, Bentley's right there with him. Schmeier's only 12 points off of Bentley Glazer. Ryan Steele's only 14 back. So those three are going to be battling out here for the championship. Bentley Glazer's the multiple time defending champion, and he is driving away from Jeff Schmeier. Glazer stays up high. He's going to make his way around the lap truck that was losing control there for a little bit. Glazer's now out to almost a 3-second lead over Schmeier. Hollinsworth about 2.5, 3 back from Meyer. Bob Beltrami is 9.5, almost 10 back from Hollingsworth. Bob going to make the pass on the 07 of Keith Kellman. Like Bob's had a little bit of bump in there, but nothing too bad on his truck. Blazers out to almost a 4-second lead. Meyer working his way around the 13 of James Campbell. He looks like just got out on track. So we got 20 laps to go. We'll run down the field real quick. Bentley Glazer. Jeff Schmeier, Lawrenceville, GA. Jeff Hollingsworth. Bob Beltrami. Ryan Steele. Kyle McCartney. Christian Bishop. Charles Woods. David Weaver. And Wayne Hutchinson round out the top 10 as Wayne Hutchinson and Weaver get a little loose. And Hutchinson is able to take 9th away from Weaver. Weaver still is having a strong day. Up 5 positions to P10 at the moment. Not the biggest mover we have. The biggest mover we have is Barry Phil, who's up 9 positions to P14. But up front, Bentley Glazer is driving away from the field with almost a 7-second lead over Jeff Schmeier. 8-second lead over Jeff Hollingsworth in third. Those 17 laps to go. We'll go ahead and do a little turn it up segment here. We're wearing headphones. Definitely I want to turn them down a little bit. But here we go. Alright, that was a couple laps of just listening to those trucks run around this track here. Charles Woods drops down to the inside, going to let Bentley Glazer makes the pass. "13 laps to go. Bentley Glazer has a 9-second lead over Jeff Schmeier. Jeff Hollinsworth is starting to close the gap on Schmeier. And Ryan Steele's right behind them. About 7-8 seconds. Then you go back to Bob Beltrami, Kyle McCartney, Christian Bishop round out the lead lap cars. So with 11 laps to go, it is all Bentley Glazer. See if Jeff Schmeier is going to be able to close anything, or if he's going to have his hands full with Jeff Hollinsworth here. But right now, it looks like last week and this week are almost the same. As Hollinsworth makes the pass on Schmeier, Paul Kermerai is trying to get a little racy there as well. Kermerai down to the inside is going to stay down there and make the pass on Hollinsworth there as well. Between Schmeier and Still, there's 4 seconds, so we'll see if he's able to hang on with 9 laps to go to that podium spot. And everybody be 1, 2, 3 like they were last week with Glazer, Hollinsworth, and Schmeier. Glazer has a 10-second lead. Hollinsworth and Schmeier are within a half second of each other. They've got 3.5 back to Ryan Steele. We'll see if Steele's able to reel him in and make the pass and wind up on this podium. But right now, it's all Bentley Glazer. Glazer down to the inside. It's going to pass. Looks like Barry Phil gives him plenty of room. Jeff Hollinsworth starting to reel in the lap track of Dennis Fusion here. Jeff Schmeier falling off the pace a little bit. Ryan Steele is closing this gap relatively quickly with 6 laps to go. He's got about 2 seconds, and he just ran 3/10 faster that lap than Schmeier did. But Ryan Steele was able to get around that lap traffic, and now he has his sights set on Jeff Schmeier and a podium position with 5 laps to go. We'll see if he's able to close in and pounce on Schmeier there. But right now, Bentley Glazer has just got to hit his marks, and he will be off to victory with a 10.5 second lead over Jeff Hollinsworth. Jeff Schmeier almost 2 seconds back, and as you see, Ryan Steele closing in on him as well. Ryan Steele almost to his back bumper. Schmeier has a rear view mirror full of Ryan Steele. See if he's able to hold him off like the old saying goes, catching him is one thing, passing him is another, as Schmeier gets loose and Ryan Steele pounces and takes advantage. Jeff Schmeier just got a little loose coming out of the corner, and Ryan Steele was able to take advantage. Bentley Glazer now has an 11-second lead over Jeff Hollinsworth and Ryan Steele. 2 laps to go. Bentley Glazer working his way down the backstretch through 3 and 4 and is looking to put this race to bed relatively quickly here. I think he's starting to close in on Kyle McCartney. Makes a pass on Kelman. Down the backstretch for one final time as Carmarai gets into the wall behind him. Coming through 3 and 4. Bentley Glazer goes back to back and wins round number 15 at Darlington. Jeff Hollinsworth will finish in 2nd, Ryan Steele in 3rd, Jeff Schmeier in 4th. Bob Beltrami will come to the line in 5th. Kyle McCartney 6th. And that will do it for the race tonight. We'll let these guys get into the booth here. Let these guys get in here and here in a second. All these guys finish up their races, get them where they need to be. All right, we can get our 3rd place finisher in here. Hey Ryan, Mike up in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
Hey man, heck of a race. Don't know that there was much you could have done to catch that rocket ship that Bentley was driving, but heck of a race anyway. You had a little bit different pit strategy than the other trucks. Was that always the plan, to try and do something different?
Yeah, I mean, I could keep up with Bentley in the draft, but once he got away from me, there was no way to win, and I needed to make up some points on him, so I just went for the Hail Mary and hoped that a caution would come out in between the time that he pit and when I pit. And honestly, doing the late pit in this track hasn't been so bad, because you tend to be able to go so much faster at the end of the race that you can pass people really easily, so you're not losing time in traffic when other people would be. And so the plan was, well, if there's no caution, oh well, we're just going to go balls to the wall on the last set of tires. And the problem was I took that a little too literally and put the tires in the wall several times, trying to go as fast as I could. So I probably could have gotten back in 2nd if I hadn't done that, but we'll take a 3rd.
Yeah, awesome run. I mean, other than Bentley having a problem or a caution coming out, you guys ran this track pretty much caution free, other than the first couple little hiccups. But after that, it was kind of pit strategy and see who could deal with traffic the best.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
Let's go next week. Look here. Oh, you guys are at Richmond next week. How do you think Richmond's going to handle going from Darlington to that short track?
Richmond's pretty big mixed bag for me. I'm gonna say it probably won't be a great race for me. It's a track I don't look forward to running at. I tend to run okay, but there's enough chaos there that there's a pretty high chance I just get dumped at some point. So I don't really like going to Richmond, but we'll try to get what we can out of it.
Awesome. Well, I'll let you celebrate your third place finish. Anybody you want to thank on that truck tonight?
As always, I've got to thank the Dog Bear guys for helping prepare for the race and giving a little feedback and stuff like that. And also got to thank you guys for covering the race so that friends of mine can watch. Thank you much.
Awesome. All right. I will maybe talk to you next week.
Yeah, I hope so. See you then.
Jeff, Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Oh, not much. Hey, 2 weeks in a row.
First
Definitely.
loser.
Yeah, but it's Bentley, so
Right.
he's had a rocket ship the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's on fire, man. He's fast.
Yeah, I talked to him last week, and he said he started out a little rough, and like everybody was trying to take advantage of that. But now that he found his groove, what do you think he could have done maybe a little bit different to close that gap on him?
Honestly, nothing. He's just too fast. I can't catch him. I think everybody behind him was kind of even, but he was in his zone all on his own. Honestly.
Yeah, it looked like when he was in traffic and had a little bit to deal with, there was a couple of you guys that were able to close some ground, but once he got out to that clean air, he was gone.
He was gone. Yeah, traffic is I was just talking to my guys and our team speak, and traffic is the thing here. It's fun, but it's nerve-wracking, because if you hit it at the wrong spot, or the guy says go low at the last second when you were committed high, stuff like that, and it's hard, man. 2 cautions out of 147 laps is this group did really good tonight.
Yeah, I thought it was remarkable the way you guys were able to save some of the near misses there, coming off of 2 on that backstretch.
Yeah.
You guys, a couple times you see you guys get a little sideways, and you guys just fanned out and were able to make it work.
Yeah, there was a lot of good saves tonight, and there's a lot of good racing. I told them all in there before I left out. It was a really good race, a lot of fun. It's when it goes green, it's fun. You get the green pit stops, and it kind of separates people, take advantage of some stuff that other people aren't good at, and it makes for a really good race. I had a lot of fun, and congrats to Bentley. And Ryan was fast as heck. I think he just waited just a little too long to do his last stop, because Bentley was even saying, hey, he might have caught him. Brian was flying the whole night, led 19 laps, and he was good. I think his last pit stop, he just waited just a little bit too long.
Yeah, he was saying he was waiting for that caution to happen, and it never came to fruition. But as we look forward to next week in Richmond, how do you feel about short track racing?
I love Richmond. I do usually do really well there, so I'm looking forward to it. And Bentley hates Richmond, so maybe he won't be in front of me next week. We'll see. There's a lot of good drivers in there though that are really good there. So hopefully it's good as this week.
Awesome. Well, I will, before I let you go, anybody you want to thank on that truck tonight?
Oh, on the truck, Coast Guard and Purple Heart Homes, Remington or not Remington, what am I saying? Anyways, Bob, of course, and all the work he does for us. You for putting on the broadcast. Can't wait to check it out. Everybody that raced tonight in this league, congrats to all you guys on 2 cautions at that hard track. Bentley on his win, Ryan for 3rd. Good racing with Jeff and Bob and Kyle. We were pretty close there at the beginning of the race. And that's it, brother. I appreciate you.
Awesome. Well, I might be talking to you next week then.
Hey, man, maybe I'll get on a streak. Who knows? Hey, I also thank my teammates, Charlie, Freddie, and Paul. I don't want to forget those guys. Paul ran a special scheme for me this week. I had one of our dogs died, and if you look at the back of Paul's truck, it says Racing for Daisy. So I appreciate him. That was really cool. Anyway, I won't take up no more of your time.
Awesome. I'll talk to you later.
Appreciate you.
Hey, Bentley, Mike up in the booth.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, man, looks like you had another rocket ship tonight. Out by over 10 seconds.
Yeah, my luck's turned around. I finally started winning again.
Yeah, and then we'll head back to short track racing, so.
Yeah, I look forward to that. Not Richmond, but Bristol for sure. And yeah, it's going to be tough. All these races have been really tough this year.
Yeah. Looks like you were able to split that race basically into 3 segments. Were you a little nervous when Ryan stayed out and was driving as fast as he was able to?
I was nervous before I pitted because I was starting to catch traffic and he was catching me a little bit, and he stayed out those 2 extra laps, and so he was putting a couple tenths on me at the end. And then I felt like he's going to do the same thing and do a couple laps over in pit, and I hit the wall, so it worked out that he stayed out for a little too long. But yeah, he was coming. I was looking at him on the relative, seeing how fast he's catching me.
Definitely. Well, congrats on this win here and going back to back and increasing your points lead. We head to Richmond next week. Anybody you want to thank on that truck before I let you go?
Thank Bob and Western States Racing League. Thanks to all my teammates at OGR, and thank you for broadcast.
Awesome. Well, I'll let you go celebrate your win, and maybe I'll talk to you next week.
Yep. See you then.
Yep, see ya. All right, that will do it here at Darlington Speedway. Go ahead and put up race results here. Bentley Glazer put on a show tonight again, leading most of the race, winning by 10 seconds. Jeff Hollinsworth in second again, best of the rest. And then you have Ryan Steele, who was flying at the end. Jeff Schmeier was running well as well. Bob Beltromi, Kyle McCartney round out the top 6 and the lead lap cars. Then we go back to Christian Bishop, Charles Woods, Wayne Hutchinson, David Weaver round out the top 10. P11 was Dennis Fusion, Earl Weaver in P12, Paul Krummerai 13th, Barry Phil 14th, Keith Kellman in 15th, Paul Hoffman, Dustin Burns, Julian Ricci round out the top 18. Then we go back to Eric Woods, Brian Barnes, Troy Campbell, Alan Bergen, James Campbell, and Fred Williams started and parked it. And that is it from Darlington Speedway. I am Mike Demoni. From everybody here at Sim Racing Media, have a good night, and we will see you next time.